invited everyone you knew. You would see the greatest gifts would be from me, and the card attached would say, thank you for being a friend. Bum, 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 bum.
On that note, what's up, everybody?
Hey!
Welcome to Lights, Camera,
Cocktails!
Cocktails. We have a very special guest with us
Yes,
today.
we do.
Tonight, I should say. It's late as fuck.
Whoa. It is. Dang, we are starting really late. But
We're having midnight margaritas, but not really.
But not really.
Ooh.
Midnight cocktails.
Yes.
All day, every day.
Miss Lenny is joining us
Yes.
today. How you
She
doing?
is
Good.
one of my favorite people in the whole world. One of my best friends from college.
I met her 5 minutes ago, and I love her.
Right? She flew here from New York City.
New
Yes.
York City.
Center of the universe.
Times are shitty, but I'm pretty sure they can't get worse. I don't know. They're pretty worse. Really
No,
bad.
can
it
get
can get worse. But yeah.
But we will open up a restaurant in Santa Fe on another day.
Yes.
Today, we're going to pair an amazing cocktail with an amazing movie.
All
And you got, oh my God, I'm so excited right now.
right, you guys. So for this week's cocktail, we are doing Ghost in the Graveyard.
Oh my God.
Is that not a great name for this?
Yeah, no, this is good.
Okay,
That's really
so
good.
what you're gonna do is 2 ounces of black vodka, which is a special sort of vodka, but I did not want to do that because today, you guys, I had a fucking shitty ass day. I was driving on the freeway on the way here. Something flew and hit my driver's side passenger window
Sing it, girl.
and fucking shattered it. So
Oh my god.
I didn't have the money or the time to go get us some black vodka. So all I did was get some food coloring and made it black. So it was
Okay.
just regular vodka. But we were low on vodka, so I also put the rest of our whipped cream vodka in there. So it's going to have a hint of that, like,
Ooh.
flavor in it.
Nice little spin.
Yes. Okay.
We might get a little fucky uppy.
a little fucky uppy. And then you're going to put 2 ounces of Kahlua. You're going to shake it. And then in a rocks glass, you're going to put some dry ice. We add it again. And you're going to put scoop of vanilla ice cream.
I
And
didn't
we
do
have
the dramatic lighting today, but
fine.
I'm sure the dry ice will still work.
We have French vanilla ice cream.
Oh my God, yes.
So
Oh
I'm about
my
to pour that on
That's the
top.
part
'cause I
I'm
want
excited about.
I'm going to
You ready?
record this. I got this. Oh my god.
Wow. That shit looks
Whoa.
dark. Wait, is the Kahlua already in there?
Yeah,
Oh my God.
This is gonna be toxic.
I just didn't want to do it without.
It looks like Billy Butcherson's blood.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh, this is
Wow,
amazing.
that's awesome.
It smells incredible too.
Hey, baby.
Come get your drink.
Smashley's in the building, by the
Brr, brr,
way.
brr.
And also, she's hurting herself somewhere.
That's amazing.
Now, this is vodka, babe. I don't know if you're gonna...
Oh yeah.
Smashly don't do vodka.
Oh.
But
If you don't want it, give it to me and I'll put it in.
I may need a spoon
you.
for this. Oh my God.
I got you.
Look at you.
It's
Coming
said
out
serve
with
with spoon.
everything.
All right.
Oh my god.
I could never
So-
do that shit with
so
a
good.
spoon.
I can't do it either. And this, my friends, is Ghost in the Graveyard.
Ghost in the graveyard.
Cheers.
Cheers to that.
Cheers. All right, let's see how this looks.
Woo!
Ooh. That's so good.
Okay, so I just want to say something
It's got a little bite to it.
that basically this is a White Russian.
It doesn't it taste I was gonna say it tastes
Because
a little
it's
like a white
vodka,
Russian.
Kahlua,
I
and
could throw
cream.
coffee in this.
Ooh,
Yeah. I
actually,
mean-
like an affogato. Espresso and ice cream
Would
with a
you
little
be
Kahlua.
offended if I added some coffee?
No.
Just because your boy worked a 14-hour shift and I want to be awake for this podcast.
I'm just telling you that if you like White Russians,
Love that.
this is your thing. You don't have to use the black vodka. That's not even necessary. But the ice cream adds the cream, and it's very, very cool.
I like the look of the vodka though too.
Right?
It makes this so much
It's a
more
little
spooky
greener
and-
than
we
I
haven't
want.
had something like this since podcast number 1.
Oh, this is kind of full circle because that was our
Throwback.
first drink.
For episode number 1 was a White Russian.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna pour a little coffee
And it was
in
a
mine.
kind of crappy White Russian, so I would love to redo that
Oh
one.
yeah.
I feel like I'm
Can I
conjuring. Like
interest you, or are you good where you're?
I'll take a little
I'll let you
nip.
pour it because I don't know how much you want.
Thank you.
Wow, this is really cool.
Well, let me get some.
Yeah, a little late night.
Pick me up.
Ugh, love.
I had a little caffeine because, who knows how long these episodes are going to be.
Go.
Oh my.
Oh, yeah. All right, people, buckle in because we got a great movie for you. But before that,
Yep.
what kind of herstory you got for us?
It's time for herstory on the great Kahlua, y'all.
Yes.
Now, we've used Kahlua before, especially in
Kahlua.
one of our favorite cocktails on the show,
Uh-huh.
sexual chocolate.
I was just talking about the sexual
Sexual
chocolate,
chocolate.
today.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
The sexual chocolate was so good.
Ooh, that coffee actually, that was good.
It's a nice little addition.
I like it. All right.
Love that.
So, Kahlua, it's not as old as I thought, but older than I thought. That didn't make sense. I thought it was older, but then when I found out how old it was, I was like, oh. Well, I kind of thought it was. Anyway.
Not as old as your Grammy, but maybe as old as your mommy.
No, it's as old as my Grammy, not my great Grammy. So in 1936, it started, Kahlua. It's named after, Kahlua means house of the
Mustache.
Alcala people. They're like, shit, have I heard
Ellen's
you?
dying over here. Does she know what I'm talking about?
I don't know, have you seen Life?
No. Oh, wait, yeah, so I've seen Life.
Okay,
yeah.
every time that Zenobia
got me.
has a little brain fart, I always ask her if the mustache is too big.
Yeah.
And it's from Life because Martin has a little brain fart on set and Eddie Murphy catches him because he's wearing a big ass fake prop mustache.
That's amazing.
Zenobia does not have a mustache.
I do not.
Suitors out there.
Thank you. I'm still taking applications, you guys. It's always open. Door's always open.
Ooh,
Really? I don't know if you know this, Ellen, but
The door's always open and the meter's always running.
I'm always looking for my true love on this show.
Very eligible.
Okay, so where was I? So this is how Kahlua started. So 4 friends got together and they kind of were like, we should kind of start a business together. And one
Oh,
of
she
them,
was going for a spoon. I thought she was being
I thought she
affectionate.
was giving you a hug
That's
too.
fucked
I
up.
thought she was too.
Smashley, don't care. That was a pity kiss.
So they get together and one of the friends is like, hey, I grow coffee beans. And the other guy's like, I'm a fucking chemist. We should like get together and kind of come up with something. And this is their birth
And
child.
they created Kahlua.
Kahlua.
Coffee liqueur.
Yes.
I love it.
It is one of the first, if not the first, coffee liqueur. I'm pretty sure it is the first. And not until about the 40s did it come here to the U.S. And it inspired white Russians and black Russian drinks. And by the 60s, people were adding it into their coffees, for a little midday pick-me-up.
Oh, yeah.
And it just kind of grew from there. And Kahlua is the biggest coffee liqueur company in the whole world, right? As we
Dude.
speak. Everybody loves Kahlua. If you love, coffee and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Even coffee companies have Kahlua-flavored coffee. Like, my mom has,
Really?
I've seen her got what are the little pods that you put in there? There's
Oh,
like
yeah,
a
the
fucking,
espresso pods?
yeah, there's like a Kahlua
Your
one.
mom's got one of them?
Yeah.
Really?
Hmm.
They make that for, like, the Keurigs and, like, stuff like that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I don't think it's like alcohol
Dope.
in there.
wish.
But it's just Kahlua flavor.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's my herstory.
I just want to sing Kahlua, but every time I think of it in my head, it just comes out Hallelujah.
I just think of like,
Hallelujah. Because it's so good.
so that you're like singing spiritual hymns to it.
Mm-hmm.
Hallelujah. Okay.
Okay.
So, Helen, before we
Yes.
start about this amazing movie, please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, we go back to college.
We do.
But we go back to the front door.
Go back to about 30 minutes ago.
We'll treat this as a speed dating situation.
This really is. Boom.
Your name is Lenny.
My name is
Helen.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
My little nickname, my niece coined, so she's so sweet. But yeah, living in Brooklyn, doing stand up, doing some writing out there.
Brooklyn stand
Brooklyn.
up.
Up in
I love
Bushwick.
that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's old man hustle. But yeah, just living in Brooklyn, kind of doing my thing. We met in San Francisco. We lived out there.
Yep.
I had a mutual appreciation for Snoop Dogg and horror films, and it budded our romance.
That'll
First
do
day
it.
of class, we were partnered
That's about
together
what'll do it.
Yep,
for
that'll do
Zenobia.
it.
to do a scene.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, we rehearsed one day, and I was like, hey, will you, like, come with me down the street to go pick up Snoop Dogg tickets I bought off of Craigslist? She's like, sure.
I would definitely.
Am I getting that second ticket?
She did
I
not.
did ask though.
She did ask. I was
I
like,
did.
I would totally give it to you, except that.
You got someone for that
yeah,
ticket?
my great friend
It is
Caitlin.
betrothed to Caitlin.
Yeah.
Always and forever.
Yeah.
Love that.
They are
woman.
friends now, so it's
Love
fine.
that woman. I love you. If you're listening.
Does
So,
she listen?
Yeah.
yeah. So when you see hits from Canada, that's her.
That's her.
Kenyatta. Okay.
But yeah, that's how we met. And that's
Mhm.
and I'm here just enjoying my
She
time
moved-
with you.
She moved next door to me.
I did.
She became my neighbor.
Literally the house right next door.
Next door. She didn't even know.
We didn't even know.
She's like, I think I'm on your street. What's the house address? She told me. I'm like, bitch, that's next door.
That was 41st and Irving.
Yep. Yep.
Oh
in
my
San
God,
Francisco
San
days.
Francisco.
So yeah, we had some good times.
Yeah, we did.
We slept at each other's house,
Wow.
stayed at each other's houses.
Went to
We're
Burning
not
Man
going to skip
together.
past the fact that you said, yeah, we did the way that you said
Yeah, we
it.
did.
Yeah,
We get in
did.
trouble. We do.
This is not a rated R podcast, is it?
I mean,
Wow.
yeah.
NC-17.
My mom does listen, however,
Religiously.
yeah, she
Hi,
really,
Mama.
She really does. But she's learned a great deal about me already. I mean, I
Good.
have no other secrets really, and if I do, then it'll be at the bottom of this class.
I always had a theory that don't do anything you're ashamed to tell your mama.
Then I wouldn't do anything. When I started the show, they told me, all right, no, I hope
Jeanette,
you do
she's
really
a
good on the
saint.
show. But
Mama B
can
is
you
a
not
saint.
cuss on the show?
Aw.
That's what she told me. And since day one, I've been motherfucking cussing.
Her mother does.
I love that woman. But damn, Gina.
We say fuck.
Yeah.
hmm
And no fucks are given.
So, are you guys ready for the stats?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so if you haven't guessed by the name of the drink, we are doing Poltergeist.
Poltergeist. Ugh,
They're
scary.
here.
ass
You know,
movie.
you guys know Jason is not a fan of scary movies, so.
And I never seen it before this week.
Really?
No.
Oh.
I never had a reason. Shit.
I watched this as a child.
Yes.
Probably shouldn't have, but I did. And it scared the shit out of me in so many ways. All right, so here's the stats.
Oh my god, yes.
This is
Sorry,
a good
the
drink,
ice cream.
right? This drink is so good.
I just dove into the ice
Me
cream.
too.
So this movie dropped June 4th, 1982.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
1982. I wasn't even born
I
yet.
None of
wasn't
us
even
were
born.
I'm
But we
proud to
still
say that
appreciate-
none of us were here.
We weren't here, but
I don't get to say that all the time.
not all the time, but no one was here in this house in 1982. So the budget was $10 million.
Okay.
So transferred it into today's money, that's $26 million.
Nice.
And it made $77 million. In today's money, $205 million
Yeah.
worldwide. So it made a lot of money. Rotten Tomatoes. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
It's going to be critics 85%, audience 79%. Zenobia, I'm going to side with the audience on the 79%. It is a really good movie. And I bet it was even better in 82 when we weren't desensitized and technology was better.
Yeah,
I mean, isn't
exactly.
as good as now. So
They worked with what they had back then.
The special effects, yeah, they were lacking a little
There were
bit.
some of them
but
where
that's
you're like-
because we're so used to the more modern
Mm-hmm.
images.
I just
This
want to
is
say my
true.
drink with the ice and the ice cream turned real slushy. Like that.
Be careful, don't.
Oh yeah, don't eat the dry ice. It's at the bottom.
I see it's bubbling.
All right. Just don't dig into it.
Now you got me paranoid. God damn it. All right.
You're going to get stuck like the kid on a Christmas story.
I'm
Stack.
gonna be late for class. Like, runs off. Come back. So are you guys ready for the motherfucking drinking game? I'm ready.
I'm ready.
You ready?
I'm ready.
What the fuck? You need more coffee?
No, I just wanted to throw you a curveball. That's for tomorrow. Y'all dipping into my tomorrow's energy.
I'm sorry. All right, save it up. So, the drinking game. You're going to take one simp
Uh-oh.
when Carol says, Mommy, Mommy, I can't see you. Are you in the light, Mommy?
Oh, my God.
That little. Oh, sorry. Okay.
She also does it a lot just like when she's in the house. She says, Mommy, a lot.
She
so,
does.
So get your drink on for that. You're going to take one simp when you see a shot of the suburbs. Okay.
Oh, like a panel
Okay.
shot.
Yeah.
Like,
And they show the neighborhood.
Wide and how every house looks the same.
I just want to say that their house looks like my neighbor's house. Like, their neighborhood looks like my fucking neighborhood, which was built in the late 80s. So, except their staircase is so weird. Is it not? Like, it's just odd for that house.
It's
It's a
70s.
it's a strange architectural style where they
Yeah,
did it like
it's
right in the
70s
middle of the
architecture.
room. Yeah. It
know.
does throw it off a
I
little
guess.
bit.
I guess. It's a little Brady Bunchy. I don't
Sure.
know. So, you're going to take one simp when you see the tree.
That fucking tree.
That
my
spooky tree
God.
outside his window. He's like, I moved here next to the tree because it's old and wise, and I thought it was gonna, it's gonna protect us. Except it's trying to fucking eat his kid. His son knew from the beginning. He was like, Dad, chop that shit down, please.
It reminds me of the tree from Harry Potter that whoops their asses in the car.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I love that scene though. That's so
It's
good.
a great
That's such
scene.
a
They're
good
like, you gonna
scene.
crash into me? What? So, you gonna take a simp every time you hear. Where am I?
They do say that a lot.
They do. Where am I?
I think I say that a lot.
Okay, so
How did I get here?
Where might I be?
you're going to take a sip every time the snow is on the TV.
Ah,
Okay.
creepy as shit.
You're going to take a simp. But I mean, that poster of her in front of the TV is
It's
probably
iconic.
one of the coolest posters ever. You know, you just see her. They're
Her whole
here.
in the first reflect. Oh my god! Sometimes I hear that like haunting of it, but like her face when it reflects back
Yep.
is
Yeah.
always, and that's the beginning tone of the film. Like
You're
it's just
"Oh,
so creepy.
You changed
Like
real quick from like just a dead bird to this shit. All right, so you're going to take a simp every time the national anthem is played. I believe they played about twice.
oh okay. I was gonna say I don't remember it being so
It plays
prominent.
a few times.
Yeah. Okay, so for people who are young, including ourselves, I had to do some research by asking my old people in my life about this. But back in the day, TV would go off at like 1 o'clock or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like go
they didn't
off.
Have any They didn't have any programs at overnight.
Yeah, like go off as in the last thing that you see and hear is the national anthem and the flag, and then once it was done, snow. So this is something we can't imagine now with 24-hour
No.
everything.
Whoa! I didn't know
They
this.
started.
Oh, see?
They started
You
filling
just-
that shit in with the Home Shopping Network.
Yeah.
I
and
mean, I would
home
believe.
shopping and all those like weird, like look at this
Like
chopper.
filler.
Yeah, what are those? What are the
The slap
infomercials?
chop. You're gonna
Yeah.
love my nuts.
They're like, oh, my arms just can't get those toned down. Well, I got the shake weight. Like we got all that shit now. But back then,
I did one of
the
those.
TV would go off.
infomercials.
TV would go off.
For what?
I don't know. It never aired.
I
Thank God.
don't want to know. So,
It was an exercise thing that did not work.
you're like, oh, wow.
You know what it looked like? It looked like those old school pillows that you set on the floor with the two arms that stick out of it.
Yes.
It's like, I'm supposed to exercise with this shit?
I'm like, I feel like I should be sitting in front of my TV right now.
Uh-huh.
Eating ice cream. Alright, so you're gonna take one simp
One simp.
every time something moves
I keep on
on its own.
Ah.
Yeah, take a simp when I say simp.
I have been, and I'm already out.
Subconsciously, yeah. That's what
Okay,
happens.
I'm sorry. After the drinking game, I will make you a note.
That's what
Okay.
happens.
Okay, so you're gonna take a simp.
I was really committed. I was like, "Bow."
Oh, don't
Sorry,
you
okay.
worry. Don't you
Ooh.
worry your pretty little head. Okay, so you're going to take one simp when something moves on its own. So, like the piano
The
or
chair.
the chair
That fucking chair.
or Carol Ann going across the fucking floor in the kitchen. You're going to take a simp. Okay? You're also going to take a simp when the closet door is open.
Oh,
No.
don't do that.
Yeah, I'm trying to get y'all fucked up
Yeah, you are.
on this ice cream drink. You guys need to try this shit for reals.
It's
It's
so
really
good.
good.
It looks kind of weird, but tastes fucking good. So, you are going to take a simp when someone walks into the kitchen. Because the kitchen is one of the hearts of the house.
Mm-hmm.
The closet being another one. But that kitchen, though, it'll be fucking up in there. The chairs kept fucking moving.
Is that where homeboy looks into the mirror? No, that's the bathroom.
No, he goes in the bathroom. But when he's in the kitchen, that's when the steak starts moving and then the little shit comes out of it. Oh. So you're going to take one simp
Love it.
when you see that motherfucking clown. I'm sorry, Smashley.
That clown is
That
creepy as fuck.
clown.
Brr, brr, brr. Sucks.
And
But-
clowns were creepier. I mean, modern it is like really super creepy for
I mean,
sure.
he is
but
really
like
creepy.
when I was a kid and those old clowns would come on, I just would get so scared. There was like a certain scaredness during that time.
Do you
I
feel
don't know.
like because he's like John Wayne Gacy fucking gonna kill you?
Yeah, it like especially like the look, the
Of
hair.
all the people to mention.
He was the killer clown.
He was the killer clown. And then there's just like so many killer clowns in like modern TV too, and I'm like, they're everywhere.
Man. Well, I'm sorry for bringing that torture to you. Take a simp on that. So you gonna finish your drink when the parents are smoking weed.
Nice.
I love it. I have no clue. I've watched that scene a million times, and I still have no clue what the fuck they're talking about. They're just mumbling random high people shit when you're high and
They're
watching
talking about
TV.
swimming or diving or
She's
some
talking
shit.
about going on a date and coming home, and her dad thinks something happened and like searched her for hickeys and everything else. And then she's like, and then she's like, oh shit, what happens if like Carol Ann sleepwalks and fucking falls in the pool and there's no water in it? And he's like, oh, it's just random ass shit.
But it's not random at the same time.
Yeah,
I guess it's not. I don't know.
Because it feeds into the story.
and it all builds together.
I guess the pool thing, yes. But the other part, I was always like, what the fuck does this have to... Just showing that you guys are fucking potheads. Love it. So you're gonna finish. You're gonna finish your drink when Marty peels his face off.
Oh my god, yes.
He just rips it. You gonna finish your drink when Steve yells at his boss. He's like, you moved the headstones, but you left the bodies.
Mm-hmm.
The fuck, you fucking douche.
You moved the headstones.
But you left the bodies. One, that's fucked up because you did that, of course, to everybody else. But then you let me build my motherfucking house on top of this.
Uh-huh.
And you didn't even give me a heads up. If you could have gave me a heads up, I probably would have just lived somewhere else and probably still hustled those houses. 'Cause they were about to pay him some good ass money.
Yeah, for real.
That's just me. You got anything else to add to the drinking game, you guys?
No.
I think you hit all of them. Really.
I'm getting good at this.
That was a good list.
Well,
I mean, I already finished my drink. I'm good.
oh, that's right. Okay, so that is the motherfucking drinking game.
I still hear Seth's voice every time you sing that now. Because he wanted to follow up and he's like, the motherfucking drinking game.
You can still it. We're still in it.
I'm not coining it. I don't have that Texan twang in my voice that he does.
Well, I guess we're gonna have to bring him back
Again.
okay.
He is the most recurring guest on this podcast.
I would have to say Joe is. He was
Isn't
on there
he?
like 3 times.
No, that's twice.
3 times. He was twice with you and once with me.
Word?
Remember we did
Oh, that's right.
Oh my God, what?
Jojo.
Damn it,
Yeah.
Joe.
Oh, and Landon was on here once too.
Yeah,
No.
I saw the one with him and Landon. That was awesome.
We were all college friends, you guys. We all went to the same academy. So,
Academy of Art. Go Knights.
this is quite a urban nights.
Urban Knights.
This movie is quite
What would you call it?
it's not gory because no one dies.
Yeah, nobody dies.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I hear you, Robin.
I know. I heard her too. I was like, that is the cutest. She's like heavy breathing in the
At
background.
least she's
like,
not snoring this time.
She will.
Sometimes we bore the shit out of her. She just be snoring.
Yet she insists on being up here. So, yeah. So, Poltergeist. This movie, written by the great Steven Spielberg, produced by the great Steven Spielberg, not directed by the great Steven Spielberg.
Nope.
However, slightly directed by the great Steven Spielberg.
Yes. Can I bring up something?
Yes.
So, Steven Spielberg wrote this movie, and he wanted to direct it, but he was directing E.T. at the time, and was under contract that he would not be directing another movie while he was directing E.T.
Gotcha.
So he got someone else to do the movie, and he was doing E.T. at the same time, but E.T. was like a little behind, so he spent a lot of his time on this set. So there's debate on if he really is the director for this movie. Because if you watch it and you know Steven Spielberg, you could see some of his like shots.
Sure.
There's also they say 2 different openings for this movie
Interesting.
to show you the 2 different sides of, I guess, the direction of this movie. So at the beginning, when it's super dark and they're doing like the national anthem or whatever, they have what is the director's name?
Toby.
His name is
Toby
Toby
Hooper. Yeah, so they
He did Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
He did.
Yes, he did.
which is a movie that I would like to have on here one day, but I know that you would fucking hate that shit.
No, that movie legitimately terrifies me. I can't watch it that often. That and Clockwork Orange. I can't watch those 2 on a regular basis. It's
But yeah, I get you.
yeah, it's a great movie. I just can't watch it all the time.
No, I
but
totally agree.
you can see his eye a little bit in it too, though. Toby's.
Yeah, when you see like the gory stuff.
So you definitely see the collaboration between the two. I mean, low key Steven Spielberg was directing that fucking shit.
He also has like, so when they show Steven Spielberg's name, it'll be like the more softer music and the wide shot of the whole town. It says Steven Spielberg, which is more of his type of openings for his fucking movies. So yeah, I can see both because like the peeling of the face, I feel like it's more Toby with like the Texas Chainsaw, but then you have like just like the clown and the special effects that like the neighborhood looks like it's in the same fucking neighborhood as E.T. Like they look like they're in the same. If you went like a mile and a half down, you hit E.T.
It looks like the childhood home of Steven Spielberg, where he grew up in Arizona.
That's what his house looked like. It looked like my neighbor's house.
Same as E.T. does.
Well, the story he
That's
originally written was like, what was it called? Night Sky. And like they said, like mostly the story was based on his scary dreams that he would have about this like tree that would haunt him outside his window, and
And he would freak out his sisters about it too.
yeah.
They're like, Steven, shut the fuck up, dude. I don't want to hear about this shit.
I don't want to hear this shit right now.
Yeah, because
I'm going to bed.
because like as a child, there were things that scared him, and one of the things that scared him was clowns. The other thing was this huge ass tree that was outside of his window.
Yep.
So he put those into this movie, which I think is cool. Get out away from this.
I'm going for it.
I love it. Oh, I love that. Was
It's got nothing to do with the drink.
it was great.
He's like, I just wanted.
just right in the mouth.
You're not going to dangle ice cream in front of me.
I didn't know I was dangling.
I just got really jealous a little.
I mean, it's on your side.
I know. I'm so close. I'm so close.
There you go.
I know. But
So
like,
technically, Toby Hooper is the director, and like you said, he is responsible for Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the first one, back in 1974, 76, something like that.
I wouldn't know the date.
86, actually.
86 is part 2.
86 is part 2. 74 is part 1. And this was his first movie, Texas Chainsaw, that is. And from there, it was his jumping off point to what?
Did you get that
Peeking on the microphone?
Oh, it's because the spoon touched the ice when you touches it.
Oh, damn, that sounded like a cat.
Right? That's what I. Oh my god, that's
Dry ice fun, y'all.
You're pissing Robin off.
Sorry, boo boo. Sorry, boo boo.
That was weird.
not down.
So yeah, he had great success with Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and so he started off very quickly on the rise. And his genre is horror films, obviously.
Yeah.
However, he did direct one of my favorite music videos as well, and he won an Oscar for it.
I mean, okay, what?
I think he won an
Drop
Oscar for it.
Okay.
It's Dancing with Myself, Billy Idol.
No way.
Yeah.
Dancing with myself.
I'm
Dancing with myself. Chance.
There's nothing to lose.
Good, I'm dancing with myself. Don't laugh at us, Smash.
Is she laughing over there?
Yeah, she is. He is one of those directors that I don't know how it is working for him, but apparently he doesn't work for a lot of things.
But
So he got fired mid-production from 2 movies.
this
The
being
Dark,
one of them.
The Dark, 1979, and Vinmore, 1981. Before he got this movie, which is his biggest movie. So I kind of feel like, you know, this helps keep him in the light.
Yeah.
He also turned down doing E.T.
Really?
Yeah.
So Steven wanted to do this one more than E.T. or vice versa?
I don't know. I feel like
Interesting.
I don't want to know the answer because
I don't wanna know.
I love ET so much.
Yeah.
I feel like these movies are so similar. Not only do they look like they're in the same neighborhood, but like this is like the adult version of E.T. kind of feel
Maybe.
like. Because I mean, it's not aliens that are.
It's not
invading-
supernatural.
No.
Which I mean, I'm addicted to the supernatural and the fantasy.
She is, yes.
That's why ET is just my jam. But I can see what you're talking about. It's like the adult version
Yeah.
of Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Sure. Well, that makes me wonder at what point, because it clearly states that he did not finish this project because of creative differences, and that's when Steven Spielberg came in and took over.
Well, then why is his name on there then? Like
He
the title.
probably
The title.
directed most of it,
Yeah.
and then Steven put his Edward Scissorhands on it and edited it together to a certain degree, and did reshoots where he had to, possibly. Who knows? I don't know. I do know that I saw his 2013 movie, Jinn, and I liked it.
Okay.
I thought it was really good. Very interesting.
It's about Jen.
No, it's about a jinn.
Boo.
A jinn is a genie, sort of, but like
I mean, that's cool and all, but
evil version.
I kind of wish that it was about like a bottle of gin
I don't know though. An evil genie down.
that comes out of a bottle of gin.
Actually, that
See?
would
Thank you.
Gin on gin.
Gin on gin. I think we came out with the sequel. So,
Sadly, there will not be a sequel. Mr. Hooper did pass away in 2017.
burn, burn, burn.
Oh, that was really sweet.
So, like you were talking about the night sky, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so the night sky, that was the first name for the movie, and it was going to be like aliens invading like this family suburban house. And then,
Yeah, because it was originally supposed to be a supernatural
Yeah.
story.
And
Okay.
so he changed it and came up with what we have now. But people say that he was influenced by something. And it would be The Twilight Zone, this episode called The Little Girl Lost that came out in 1962, which I have seen. I love The Twilight Zone.
I love The Twilight
And when I saw the episode, I thought of this movie because it's about a little girl who finds some like another dimension portal in her room, and she walks through it and gets lost, and you can only hear her voice. And her parents are all trying to figure out how to get in there and get her back. And so the dad ties the rope to him, and he walks through to go get his daughter, and he comes back. So it is a lot similar to this movie, and it came out way before this movie. So it could be an influence.
Yeah, it's an influence. I mean, I love the Twilight Zone, and they're rebooting the Twilight Zone.
Yes, they are.
Jordan Peele, baby.
Shut up, I know.
I know he's a genius.
Can I let me just tell you why I picked this movie. Not only because it's a really good movie.
Yeah.
But to piss me off.
And to piss you off. I gave him 2 choices, okay? And he said he didn't care. They were both scary. So it was this or
I don't remember what the other.
The Exorcist.
Oh, that's right.
I picked this movie because it is not only famous for being a very spooky movie, but it is also famous for being a cursed movie.
It is. Yes, it is. Are we going to dive into that?
I just wanted to get that out of the way, so once we start talking, you can see where the curse falls in.
Yeah.
So the reason why people think that this movie is cursed is because the scene at the end where she falls into the pool. She's trying to get out and it's raining on the mud, and the skeletons come out of fucking nowhere and they're all surrounding her. Those are real skeletons.
Yeah.
They found that it was cheaper to buy a real human skeleton than to get somebody to make them a skeleton. And they didn't tell her until after the fact.
Can you sue for reparations? Dude, that's some fucked up shit.
Yeah, so she
I
didn't
can't
know
believe
until
that.
then.
That's real fucked up.
And
I still can't believe that you would buy, like, is that like donate your body to science? I want to be in a Steven Spielberg film. Sign me up.
my question is,
What the hell?
you write this movie about people building houses over bodies, and you're going to use real bodies in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, you don't expect nothing to, like, you don't feel bad? I mean, I personally, I guess I wouldn't care.
would never.
No, you can't get me. You can't get me with a real skeleton.
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
Uh-uh.
Well, somebody, they didn't tell her, so.
They didn't tell me. I mean, how do you find out
after.
later? You're like, oh.
One of the guys, like, you know,
Yeah,
real
who
skeleton.
the hell leaked that information?
Ooh, that.
What do you do with the bodies after the movie's done?
You,
Whoa.
You better bury them.
You have to, right?
no. I mean, people have real skeletons. Like,
Who? I don't
like
know.
doctors and shit.
Those aren't real people.
Some of them are. The old ones are.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Well, because I'm not sure. I mean, people really do donate their bodies to science,
Yeah,
so I'm guessing
sure.
that
That's
they.
the real thing.
But I didn't think like the ones in classrooms were ever real. Like,
No, some of them, most of them aren't.
Okay.
But the old ones are. Like, okay, H.H. Holmes, the first serial killer in America, he would kill his victims, strip them, and then sell their skeletons to medical schools.
That's some fucked up shit.
That's how you'd get rid of the body. So, I mean, it is a thing. It's not like it doesn't happen. I don't know how to...
Nope.
It's a thing.
It's a real thing.
Nope.
Thing.
No,
I don't think it's a thing anymore. I don't know.
Would he? Never mind. We can't go into cannibalism.
I don't know how you even fucking...
We're not broaching that conversation.
Where'd you even find that shit? Okay, I don't know. Maybe they dug him up. Steven Spielberg, seems kind of weird.
He may be slightly weird. So
The kind of weird I like.
I noticed something interesting.
Y'all.
So this episode that we're doing right now will air next Wednesday on October the 23rd.
Mm-hmm.
Strangely, our first character that we're going to talk about is played by James Karen, and he passed away 1 year to the day.
Whoa.
Whoa.
So he passed away on October 23rd, 2018.
Spooky.
A little bit. So he plays Mr. Teagle. Mr. Teague. I'm sorry.
Mr. Teague. Oh,
Mr.
yeah.
Teague. He's the one that moved the headstones.
Oh, the
left
boss.
The bodies.
Mm.
Yeah, he's the boss.
He don't be caring.
Pay the cost to be the boss.
He was about to do it again.
I know.
He was like,
That's
yeah.
what he said. He's like, we did it before. Nobody complained.
Nobody
He's like, "We're about to
complained. Well,
do
yeah,
it
because I
again."
thought
It's
that
like,
my loved one was moved.
Dude.
But what happens?
No,
Here's the thing.
that's not-
Here's the thing about that.
That's not an excuse.
You don't ever move the bodies. But what happens if, like, someone was murdered and then they're like, well, we need to dig them up. And they fucking go there and there's not even a fucking casket there. There's nothing there. Your cover's blown.
Yeah.
And then you have to tear down a whole neighborhood to, like, get these people.
In basic house building and framing and foundation and stuff like that, there's no way those bodies could stay there.
That's true, because you
not
only
gonna
go like
happen.
6 feet, and they go deeper than that with everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be poking holes in the plot hole of this movie. Oh, I didn't ask. How'd you feel about it being your first time?
Watching the movie?
Yes.
Like you said, this movie was made in 1980, 81, somewhere around there.
82.
Yeah, it came out in 82, so it was filmed probably in 80 or 81.
Yeah.
And the technology wasn't there yet, which is noticeable nowadays. However, the story was great, and the acting was, for the most part, very good.
Coach.
You know it.
I know. He's solid.
I
I'm
almost-
sorry.
T.
He's
Nelson.
one of my favorite parts
I literally
of the whole
almost
movie.
wrote
Coach.
his name down as coach on
Fucking
this
coach.
fucking shit. I love him. Yeah.
No,
Okay,
but-
so let's talk about this douchebag.
You'll recognize James Cameron in another one of your favorite movies, Pursuit of Happiness.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He's the business dude.
Mr.
Like,
Fromm.
Yeah.
He's the one that's laughing. He's the one that's like, if somebody came in to my office looking for a job with no shirt on and I hired him, what would you say? Will Smith's like, he must have had on some really nice pants.
He gets hit by a car. He's all sweaty. He fucking got there, though. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's James Cameron.
Yes.
He made his Broadway debut in A Streetcar Named Desire.
That's
Yeah.
Stanley.
I believe so, yeah.
Stella.
He's from that time. He was born in 1923.
That is
Wow.
that whole
So-
movie holds something dear to
Oh,
my
yeah.
He did live to see 94 years old.
Damn, Gina.
Uh-huh. He was up there.
He was the last one in the curse, right? Right? He's got it. I mean, to have died afterwards.
Well, The Curse spans all the movies,
Yeah.
even including the 2015 remake.
Which there wasn't any accidents on set. Or
There wasn't any
anything like that.
accidents, but there was some, I'm just going to tell you. So the director of the new one said that something followed him back from the set to the house that he was renting. And he saw this lady in black, and she would kind of like follow him around in this house.
Nope.
And when he left,
Nope.
she stayed at the house.
Oh my god.
And then he said once he got home, the owners of the house was like, "What the fuck's going on? Did you see or hear anything or feel anything?" And he's like, "Yeah, bitch, I saw this bitch in black walking around and shit."
No way.
That's what he says. Now that could be publicity or not. Take it or leave it. I like to believe into the curse. And I think that everybody and their mama is cursed that has to do with this. Because even in the second one, somebody dies shortly after the movie is released. And the third one, they had a shaman there who was like a real shaman that was in the movie. And he did like an exorcist like thing in the room on set to try to get all the evil spirits out. And he died shortly after the movie. Like, so
Dude.
his was more of a sick one. But yeah, there's just... Oh, I got another spooky...
This is some fucked up shit.
There.
The curse is real. I believe in the curse.
And we talking about this damn movie?
Okay,
Yeah.
Sorry.
We are
Ugh.
talking about this movie.
I'm not getting no sleep tonight.
Drink more, you'll pass out.
Yes, of course. Well, we can start talking
I don't know
about
if it was-
these
what kind of ice it was.
situations, beginning with the eldest child, Miss Dominique Dune.
Now, her...
That was tragic.
She is
Her
probably the
situation
biggest
is,
of the curses.
Yeah. So Dominique Dune was born right here in LA, in Santa Monica. Her, I believe it was her dad, was a producer and an actor and a writer. Her brother is Griffin Dune, who is also an actor. And yeah, this is you can tell the story.
So, Dominique's ex-boyfriend John Thomas
Sweeney, right?
He is this motherfucking douchebag, abusing motherfucker. And he beat her so badly one time that she showed up to set with bruises all over her face. And she was going to be on the show Hill Street Blues. And she was playing an abused teenager. And her bruises were so dark and real that they used zero makeup on her. So if you watch the episode that she's on, those bruises are absolutely real.
Wow.
By this douchebag boyfriend of hers.
Yeah.
Now, he also, they lived together. They dated for like about a year or whatever. They lived together in the house. They broke up. She kicked him out and changed the locks. He came back while she was rehearsing with a friend. And he called and came over and knocked on the door and was like, I just want to talk to you. And she wouldn't let him in the house. So she went out to the porch to speak to him. And then her friend inside heard, arguing and slapping and all these horrible noises. So he calls 911 and they tell them that they're not in their district to send cops, which would be West Hollywood.
Motherfucker.
So the guy calls his friend and it was like, if she ends up dead, it's this John fucking Sweeney dude. He did it. And so he said he left out the back and came around and sees him strangling her in the driveway. And he turns to him and tells him, like, go get help or call 911. I think I killed her or some shit like that. So by the time they get there, she's in a coma and 3 days later, she dies.
Yeah.
And this fool goes and tells everybody that, he lost his temper and he blacked out and strangled her. And once he came to and saw that he took a bunch of pills to try to kill himself and he, like, laid next to her and all this stuff. But when they, like, checked his blood, there was no fucking pills or anything. And he goes to trial, and they didn't have testimony from an ex-girlfriend who basically said, like, he broke my nose, he punctured a lung, he broke some ribs, and, he beat me at least 10 times. And
this motherfucker.
3 times of those times I had to go to the hospital, but they didn't allow it in court. So they only heard his side, and he got manslaughter, and he only had to serve 6 years. He was sentenced 6 years, but only served 3.5 years.
Oh my God. Are you
So-
fucking... And that guy's out then.
So after he got out, he ended up becoming a chef at this Santa Monica restaurant. And so the parents, they go out there and they pass out flyers saying, like, your meal was cooked by the man who murdered Dominitos. Like, this is who, to the point where he had to, like, quit his job. He had to move out of California and change his name.
Absolutely.
The dad was, like, so into, like, figuring out, like, destroying this guy's life that, like, he did
should.
interviews and stuff and talked about him. And he was going to marry this girl. And the dad read an article about him and called the dad and was like, yo, is this the same dude that killed your daughter? And they're like, yeah. And he's just like, they, like, begged the girl not to marry him. I don't know if she married him or not.
Dude.
But he changed his name to move, and the dad ended up hiring, like, a private detective because he was like, I want to keep tracks on this fucking dude.
Yeah.
And eventually he was just like, I just don't have room in my heart to, like, continue doing this, And he finally let it go, but it was all for nothing. This guy literally got nothing. And the jury said that if they would have heard the testimony of the girlfriend, he would have been guilty.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
How the fuck is that not admissible?
I just want to say is just her death is the worst thing that has possibly happened from this curse. And she didn't deserve it. And he deserved more than what he fucking got.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was actually her last project, Hill Street Blues.
Yeah. And this was her first and only movie.
Mm-hmm.
And that's her.
Yeah, that's too
Sad,
bad.
sad.
And she
Yeah.
did
Her
some
career, it just ends.
TV things before and after this movie. Like she was in Fame.
I'm gonna live forever. Yes.
I'm gonna learn how to fly.
Hi. Yeah, I mean, her character in this movie is total funny, like, good teenager.
Sure.
I mean, the scene of the stupid guys outside hooting and hollering at her and she, like, flips them off or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That is so gross. And the mom, like, looks out the window and is, like, kind of laughing at it. Like, I understand that you're like, okay, my daughter can handle herself. She just flipped off these, like, fucking dude.
Yeah.
Dumbass. But I'd be like, all of you guys are fired.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
You're fired. She's like 15. You're fired.
Yeah, get
You
out
are
of here.
gross as fuck. It's bad enough your sweaty ass is climbing through my window, eating my food and drinking my coffee. But now you're hitting on my daughter? Ugh. Irks me. But I liked her. Minus the very end. Her screaming. She's like, what's happening? They're like, get in the car, bitch. What's happening?
Oh yeah,
They
that's
always-
so infuriating. It's
That's
like,
the only thing I was like, come on, you guys could have
get
had
in
her
the
like
fucking car.
you could have had her run to the car and it was locked and she's like I'd rather have that than her sitting there screaming.
I feel like the
It
older
makes her look dumb.
Mm-hmm.
the older horror films always do that though. It's like it's not logical. Like that's not how you would actually react. And they dumb it down for the situation. It's like, come on. Like fight her.
I can
Freeze, I
understand
get it,
your
but-
first reaction of her coming out
Run,
screaming.
bitch, she's behind you in the closet.
But once the cool
I really thought that you were like there's someone
Run, bitch!
she's behind you. I was like, oh my god.
it's just smash Lee with a knife. Don't worry about it.
If Smashley has a knife, it's coming for me. Don't worry about it. You're fine.
Yeah. That is so funny. But
Well-
she does a great job. I love her.
She does do a really, really good
It's
job.
a solid cast.
It is
for
a solid
sure.
cast.
She's just another player in this whole entire movie that it was good.
Yeah. Great ensemble. Yeah.
Yeah. I did believe Oliver Robbins when he is like looking at the TV and he's yelling for his mom and he's like trying to find his voice.
Yeah.
He did a really good job.
He's like, shit, she's coming from the TV.
Mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he keeps going. Even when she's right in front of him, he's
She's
still
like, what?
going. And then she hears her daughter's
Yeah.
voice. Ugh. So Oliver Robbins, this was also his first job. And he did some work as an actor, but he has transitioned to directing.
Yeah, I saw that.
So he has decided that he likes being behind the camera more so than in front of it. Which
Another
is great.
Jordan Peele.
Another Jordan Peele. Yeah, they offered him the role of Poop.
He's like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm never acting again. You guys suck. Dick.
Uh-huh.
You do not deserve my talent.
Dude, I was on set today and I'm looking at what's going on this project that I'm working on. And I'm a set dresser on this one, so I'm art department. And I'm watching people drop the ball here and there. And I'm also watching the writing, and I'm watching the writers at Video Village, and all they're doing is writing out something for them to exercise their own shit. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So they cast based on what they want to see.
Right.
And it's usually, it's so fucking like superficial, even just on this project. But I'm watching these writers and I'm watching who they cast, and they're like fawning over this guy, and I'm looking at this guy. He's like, this dude's ugly as fuck. First of all,
He's supposed to be like the love interest.
yeah,
Oh,
and it's like almost like a proposal scene or a falling in love scene,
okay.
and they're falling in love. The writers are falling in love with themselves in their own writing and their own fantasy. And I'm just like, this dude looks like a goofy version of Jeremy Jordan had a baby with a Cro-Magnon woman. Like his facial structures. But most importantly, he cannot act.
Okay, don't tell him about this show because he's gonna listen to this episode.
I don't give a shit. We tell the truth on this episode.
We tell the truth.
Or on this podcast.
On this podcast, it all comes out.
But it's just more so as I'm watching these things and I'm watching people drop the ball in one department or another, I'm like, I really don't want to work on things that I do not love doing.
Yeah.
As an actor, as a director, you know, if I work art department, I'm trying to make that money.
Make that money, babe. Yeah.
But you gotta love what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know,
And so-
you gotta love the project. If you don't love the project, it's not gonna be good.
No, absolutely not. You're not going to give it all.
Apparently, he loves what he's doing if he's directing.
Oh, he's not directing like this. The ugly dude.
No.
Oh,
Oliver.
Oh. Sorry. Yeah,
Trying to
Oliver.
bring it back to what we were fucking talking
Sorry, I
about.
was very passionate about that.
I'm gonna leave all that in too.
Hey, you got to let it out. You got to let it out.
Yeah, I got shit on a little bit.
Yeah,
today.
okay.
Yes.
I feel you. Let it out, man. Someone busted my motherfucking window while I was driving on the freeway. I feel you.
Top me off just a little bit with that ice cream.
With that ice cream. Yeah, I'm gonna put it on your side.
Just
here.
yeah, I'm
Don't
not
do
eating
that.
it.
Don't
There you go.
do that. So yeah, Jordan is, or I'm sorry, Jordan. Oliver Robbins.
Flashback to like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, absolutely. I missed you last week,
I miss you too.
dude.
We went a week without seeing each
So
other.
we doubled up our episodes last week. So we did do 2 episodes in less than 24 hours, and that's a lot of drinking.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I love
Sorry
it.
if Cabin in the Woods was a little sluggish. We were a little sluggish.
We were exhausted.
I love that movie, so I get it. Oh, I get it.
But we haven't gone a week without seeing each other
In a while.
Yeah. We usually see each other every Thursday.
Every
I
Thursday.
love that.
You know.
I love it.
They're like, do you have to work today? No. it's Thursday."
TGIT, baby.
Yeah. Oh my God, really? Because that's like the only day I get to like binge drink if I want to.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so much.
I love you so much. So I brought you ice cream and.
I know.
So good.
Can I give you a fun fact? Or
Yes, please.
Are we still on Oliver?
I mean, we're talking about Oliver Robbins to a degree.
Okay.
But more so, I love that he has found what he really wanted to do.
Yeah.
He went to USC film school after all this.
Go Trojans.
And he wrote and directed and produced his first project, which was The Crystal, won some prizes and stuff. And ever since then, he's been trying to direct and make movies.
It's like, hey, Steven.
To this day, he's still doing his thing.
Mr. Spielberg, you need a director for anything? Hey.
No, I got this, bud. Thanks.
Sick.
I know he's doing
no.
everything.
I know.
All right.
He
So,
really is.
I know. Oliver is also part of the curse.
Oh?
You ready?
He's still alive.
Can I not tell? Is he not going to let me tell my story?
I mean, I want you to tell your story. I'm just saying.
That was a curveball right there. He's a part of the curse, but he's still alive. Oh my God! Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. You ready?
The fuck?
Oh no! Are we predicting?
So on the you get that ice cream. And you listen up. So Oliver, he really got strangled by that creepy ass clown. So, yes. So apparently, it was supposed to work backwards. So what I'm assuming is that it's all around his neck, and then he would be moving forward, right? Mm-hmm. Or backwards. I don't know. It's done backwards, but whatever happened, the arm was supposed to like unfurl so that he wouldn't choke himself, but it choked him instead.
Got tighter instead.
And it was so bad that he's like, I can't breathe. And they thought that he was acting. Until Steven Spielberg.
This kid is great.
Yeah, they're like, damn, that's a real ass. Until Steven realized what was going on, and he like had to pry this fucking thing off of this kid's neck, and he saved him. Oliver was like, I could have died, man. If they were just thinking I was acting, I could have legit just like died or passed out or some shit.
Oh, damn.
So I mean, that's still part of the curse.
At the very least, would have had some brain damage.
That's still part of the curse, even though you don't die.
Yeah.
No,
He
just
did
a
hurt
lot of
himself.
effed up shit happening on that fucking set. It's just and it traveled from set to set. Like, oh, the curse.
That's why I picked this, because I was like, this is real spooks.
Mm-hmm.
It's too much.
Yeah.
All right, who's next on the curse?
Up. I mean,
can I give you a
you
fun
can.
fact
Yes,
before we move on?
Fun fact.
Now, I don't know if anybody else has noticed this, but I'm going to tell you why if you noticed. All right. So if you watch the movie and around about 34 minutes into the movie, there's a scene where they're in the kitchen and she's explaining to him about what's been going on. Yes, explaining to Coach what's going on. And, you know, she does the chair and then she does Caroline. And Caroline's standing there. Carol Ann. That's her name.
Caroline.
They did Carol Ann. And she's standing there and she's like, Mom didn't even cook nothing. And she's like, I'll take you to Pizza Hut. Okay, when we're done, we'll go get Pizza Hut. And then she slides her and Coach walks down to the end and he catches her and he's just like shocked. And, you know, the mom's going on and on like, oh, you know, the tingling in your stomach and blah, 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 blah. And he's just sitting there not paying attention to shit. And then in mid-sentence, it cuts from there to them on the porch at the neighbor's house. And while they're on the porch, they're also in mid-sentence. So it just kind of is like, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? This is because Coach's line was supposed to be, I hate Pizza Hut. and Pizza Hut was not about it. And I thought, like, who gives a fuck if Pizza Hut's not about your movie? But then I realized that Steven Spielberg had a deal with his ET selling like ET cups with Pizza Hut, and he didn't want to fuck up his money. That's what I think. So what they did is
that makes sense. Totally makes sense.
What they did instead of reshooting,
They just cut it.
they just cut it. Now, if I was going to do that, maybe I would have started the scene of them on the porch, maybe them walking up or whatever they were mid talking about. But you literally cut into two different
scenes.
Yeah.
Cut.
Cut. God damn it.
Okay, Steve, which jokester changed the line on me? No one, coach.
Was it improv line? Did he just said it improv?
I don't think it was improv.
Okay. Well,
So
that's
they
a little
wrote it
silly
in there.
script writing. Who doesn't like the stuffed crust?
Why would you just say, like, I hate pizza?
When did stuffed crust come around? Well, maybe stuffed crust wasn't in 1980s.
Yeah, I don't know.
Stuffed crust came around in the 90s.
Classic 90 baby.
That's why we love it. So that's a little bit. So go back.
Send us a pizza, Pizza Hut.
I also feel like the scene where they go to the neighbors is weird.
It is.
It is weird.
The you guys feel that weird. Too? The neighbor doesn't like him,
Ted,
obviously.
whatever the fuck.
I get it. Because I think
like
it's...
the mosquitoes and shit is kind of weird.
What is the mosquitoes? Mosquitoes and bugs, doesn't that mean like...
Standing water.
No, okay.
No, legitimately, yes.
Yes. But in scary movies, that usually means like
demons.
Like if you see a lot of flies or like...
It means that you're like a rotting corpse kind of / demon-esque coming from the underworld.
So does that mean that like the neighbor's house is fucked too? They just not having no shit?
I don't know. That could have actually been a really good like future storyline.
Right?
I think it means that the graves are rising up.
All right, I want some of that ice cream now. Fuck.
Bring it
They're
over.
rising up.
I know. I think that seems weird. Like they're laughing that his name is Bill. Like they sound like they're drunk.
Yeah, they do kind of.
Like, and I bet that's what the neighbors thinking too. Like these saucy fucking.
Coach was on. I should say he was off the wagon during these times.
Oh, in real life.
In real life.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I later found that out listening to him on Armchair Expert.
He's an armchair expert. I knew you were going to say that. That is,
Yeah.
But she seems a little drunk too, though. Maybe they're throwing him back in the fucking...
Maybe.
I mean,
Tossing
I would
him
be.
back in the
Tossing
trailer.
him back in the trailer. They're like, oh shit, we got to do this scene that they're going to cut into all fucking weird.
Yeah, we got to get this shit
It's so
done
weird,
we
right?
got
It's
kids
weird.
now.
It's just weird.
Yeah. So,
It is.
I mean, that's one thing that about this movie that bugs me.
Yeah.
I always thought that was kind of weird, but then now I know why.
Yeah. So Miss Heather O'Rourke.
Oh, here she
the
is.
one who plays Carol Ann.
She's here.
She's here. Yeah, exactly. Don't say that. Oof.
I mean, she's not physically here, but...
Don't mess with me. That shit'll fuck me up all night.
She terrifies me.
Can I get...
That little girl
she's so
terrifies
cute,
me.
though.
She's really sweet. And yeah, go for it.
I'm gonna give you a fun fact about her.
I will say that, can I tell you how she got cast?
Yes.
Yes. Yep.
So it's very interesting that she was sitting in the MGM commissary waiting room with her mother, which, why... Babe, don't scare me like that. All I saw was the light go on and off.
He's all spooked out.
Right? I was not spooked during Cabin in the Woods, nor Get Out, nor, of course, Hocus Pocus.
He was like, I was so
Hocus
scared
Pocus.
about
But
Hocus
now the
Pocus.
lights are on, and I'm still fucking a little creeped out.
I'm sorry I picked this movie, man.
But
It's
she's
terrifying
sitting
a
there with her
little.
mom, and this stranger comes up and says, "Hi, what's your name?" And she's like, "Hi, my name is Heather O'Rourke, but I'm not allowed to talk to you because you're a stranger." And unbeknownst to her and her mother, that stranger was Steven Spielberg.
Who?
Steven.
I've never heard of this guy.
Sir Stevie.
Is he somebody?
He was knighted by the Queen.
Is he really?
No, I don't think
Is
so.
he Sir Stephen? Did you just get me? Sir Stephen King? Sir Steven Spielberg? Now I'm getting my Stevens fucked up.
Hey, Stephen King though.
I know. I'd knight him too.
So he wanted her to audition. He did think she was slightly too young. He wanted somebody that was at least 6 years old. And she kind of failed her audition. But for some reason, he brought her back again for a second and a third. And he had her do like screaming and stuff in her audition. He had her scream a number of times. He had her bring in a scary book that he wanted her to read. And for some reason, he couldn't get this little girl out of his head. And he even told them, like, I don't know what it is about your daughter, but she's got the part. He wasn't sure what it was.
Because she's so cute.
She is really sweet. She's really cute.
I mean, okay.
But,
Whoa, wait, time out. Back it on up.
I mean, yeah, she's cute.
She has like big blue eyes and
She
like blonde
scares.
hair.
Here's the thing: is that I had heard that Drew
She's-
Barrymore was up for the role,
She was.
but she
did
got
E.T..
cast for E.T.
Yeah.
Well, no, but she originally had auditioned
She
for
did.
this Poltergeist,
And he said no,
And
but
he
come
said
back for
no.
E.T.
but then he wanted her back for E.T. I mean, it was his goddaughter, so
That's true.
Some bullshit. I forgot about that.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, the
Wait a
kids
minute,
from.
what?
Yeah.
yeah.
She's a goddaughter?
Gwyneth Paltrow and Drew Barrymore are the godchildren to Steven Spielberg.
What the
I love
parents?
Drew though. I'm a hardcore. I've met Drew.
You said who were their parents?
Yeah.
Well, Drew Barrymore
Well, the
is a
Barrymores.
Barrymore.
Okay.
And
Do
then
you,
Paltrow.
do you know what a Barrymore is?
No.
They're a famous
So
dynasty
back
of
in the
actors.
day, back
Okay.
in like Roman times, they were a traveling acting troupe that traveled all over, and they were huge. They were called the Barrymores.
Okay.
Her grandfather was, what's his name?
I can't remember.
He.
But he did it like
God,
he
now
in the
I
early.
fucking can't think of it.
Okay.
Yeah,
early
he's in like the Old
1900s.
Man and the Sea and shit like that.
Interesting.
He was a huge actor.
Okay.
And then I think she's like the generation in between that, there wasn't really anybody. And then it's her. So like her kids will be in a legacy of Barrymore. So
Dude, that's
they come
crazy.
from like a
Generations
long,
upon generations
of
long
actors.
yeah.
And so
I
does
learned
Gwen-
about them in school. That's how fucking you know they're fucking shit.
Yeah.
Bro.
In high school, I learned about them.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And then Gwyneth Paltrow's mom is what's her face? I don't know
She's
who her
from Meet the
dad is.
Fockers.
Yeah. The mom from Meet the Fockers?
Barbara Streisand.
Well, Meet the Parents.
No.
Sorry.
Okay, Meet the Parents.
Meet the
Oh.
Parents. She's the.
She's the girl's mom.
I can't
Gotcha.
believe her name is. It starts with a D.
It's hard to think when you're drunk, huh?
A
Beverly
little bit.
D'Angelo. Just kidding. It's not Beverly D'Angelo.
These drinks, though, I've guzzled it down.
That's why I keep notes, because I can't remember
Uh-huh.
shit.
Yeah,
You
you're
can't.
really. I am admiring.
It's funny to
how-
watch the decline.
This is. I listen to you guys all the time, and being in the moment, I'm like, damn.
It's not easy, is it?
I like love it. I'm also on East Coast time right now, so I'm like,
Oh, that's right.
"Woo."
So we got to get this done
Oh,
so
so
Ellie
you're
can go to
tired
sleep.
too.
No, I mean, I'm always tired. I'm chronically tired.
But she is also a person who's up all the time.
Say something about chronic.
Yeah.
Chronic?
We will get some chronic right after
I
this.
would love some chronic after this.
Some Cali weed.
Yeah, baby.
We found some shit at the
legalize it, New York.
party.
Legalize
Legalize.
it. Yeah.
Okay, so that's how she was cast.
Yes.
Can I give
but
you
You
a
got
fun
another
fact about
story.
her?
Yes, you do.
So
Curse.
she... Well, no, I'm going to do the positive shit first, don't I?
Oh.
So she was an amazing person to work with, especially on these movies, because she's in the first three. And she would be at the table reads, and everybody would be like, you know, going through their scripts and trying to memorize things. And she'd just be quietly waiting there because she could memorize 60 pages in like an hour.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. She could read at 5.
Dude.
Smart ass girl. Yeah.
Shirley Temple couldn't read.
She didn't have to. People could just tell her lines.
Well, her mom would read her scenes for the next day while she was like taking a bath.
Huh.
That would ruin baths for me. It's like another time of me working.
Never knew that.
Well, the thing with Shirley Temple was like she knew everybody else's lines, and so it was really sweet if somebody messed up their lines. Shirley Temple would be like, "Oh no, that's not what you say."
She's like, cut.
In a very Shirley Temple-esque way.
Oh
so
my
she can get away with it.
She had a lot of. Shit.
Put them in blood. That's crazy.
But she was adorable at the same time.
Yes.
She was, and she never did scary movies, so it didn't. My word. Okay, so I got our nieces into Shirley Temple. They sing Animal Crackers and Good Ship Lollipop.
Ship Lollipop, it's a sweet.
And when I grow up,
to the candy shop where bonbons play. Okay.
We're talking about Heather.
I know, that's why I have to stop myself from singing because we'll sing the whole song.
The other blonde, blue-eyed girl.
Heather,
child prodigy actress.
Child prodigy.
at the end of the
Till 13.
okay, so Heather, she really got scared during making this movie in one scene. That was the headboard scene where she's holding onto the headboard as everything's getting pulled into the closet.
Yes.
Okay.
She was terrified, and the screaming and the faces that she makes, that shit real. And it was so bad that she kind of was like breaking down because it was just too much for her, that like Steven stopped everything and he like swooped her up in his arms and he was like, you don't have to do it again. We got it. You're fine. I'm sorry.
So sad.
So I mean, we always talk about how he's the child whisperer, but maybe it took
Child torturing.
a little bit. I mean, at the same time, he's also doing E.T., where those kids were probably treated differently. Actually, the E.T. and the Poltergeist kids actually hang out together while they were on set. There's pictures of them like kicking it and stuff.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like there's a picture of Steven holding like Drew Barrymore and Heather, like, and he's like swinging them.
really
Yeah, it's
sweet.
just, you know, it's so cute. So that was one of her close encounters while she was on the set. But the crew, who loved her so much, they
course.
gifted her those 2 goldfish that she has in the movie. So she got to take those home.
Oh.
But she
Cool.
eventually passed away,
Yes.
being another victim of this curse after filming the 3rd installment of Poltergeist. She died from shit. I didn't write it down, but it's
Crohn's disease.
Crohn's disease.
So yeah, she started experiencing flu-like symptoms.
And she had a
and
heart attack.
She went to the
Yes.
hospital and they said she was fine. But then things progressed and she went back and they said that she had Crohn's disease. And the day was, I believe, January 31st, 1988. She was telling her mom that she doesn't feel well.
Yeah.
And the next morning she couldn't keep
Swallow.
her food down. She couldn't swallow. Not even like some Gatorade.
Yeah.
That's so
And
sad.
then mom
And
said
her
by the
fingers
time
were blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mom said by the time like they were like, all right, we gotta go and get up and get dressed, she like passed out on the
Yeah, she
kitchen
passed
floor.
out on the kitchen floor.
Oh my God.
When the paramedics arrived, she said she was fine. But unfortunately, she had a heart attack in the ambulance on the way to the hospital.
She said that she was fine. She didn't want to miss school.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's what she said.
Yeah. Because she was elected student body president of 5th grade.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's heartbreaking.
Yeah. She was so, she said, I hope that people enjoy what I do because I like doing it. And like, she's like, I don't understand why people want my autograph. It's just my name. Like, she's just so cute. You're like, ugh, you're so adorable. So she succumbed to that, being another person on this cursed cast. Can I give you another fun fact? It's a little less sad about her.
Okay.
It's not about her, but it's a little less sad.
She never took acting classes.
She did not, no. And she just was
She was a
that
natural.
talented, yeah. I mean, if you can memorize fucking everything in like an hour, then you can work on everything else. Like, to memorize it is becoming sort of the hard part. You're like, okay, let me get this down, then I can really start working on everything else. So, there's another part of the curse. All right, so
This fucking curse.
James Caan.
Oh.
Do you know who he is?
Oh, I know who he is.
Who is he?
James Caan?
Yeah.
He is the father of Scott Caan, Playhouse West alumni. What's up? You know, I gotta throw that out there.
Oh!
He is also an incredibly gifted actor. He is from The Godfather.
Okay, no.
Have you ever seen that?
Okay, yes, but we're talking about somebody different then.
What are you talking about?
This James Caan, he's a writer.
Oh,
And no, not that guy.
there's another James Caan out
It's
there?
another James Caan out there.
This dude is... So James Cain.
James Cain,
There's only one Jimmy Caan.
who
Sorry.
is a writer, and he was writing the book of Poltergeist. And while he was after the movie, they decided to make it into a book, and he was working on that.
Okay.
And so he was working on that in his apartment, and lightning struck his apartment building.
Oh,
And the window air conditioner flew from across the room and hit him in the back.
oh my God.
Damn.
Oh my
Then the lights
God.
came back on, and all of his video games were playing themselves.
What? What?
Yeah, I don't know about this one.
That trips me out.
Why? That could happen.
That's
Sure it can.
crazy.
If you send a surge into a building, it probably will fuck up. It probably will fry a bunch of
It'll
shit
fry a bunch of shit.
and it mess up some stuff.
I
and
don't
then-
know about turning something on very specifically, though.
I don't know.
That's weird.
I like to believe in the curse
No, I mean,
because those skeletons were real.
Jesus, what the hell were they thinking?
What were they thinking?
seriously, just buy fake skeletons.
That's
Yeah,
why if we learned
seriously.
anything from
you
this
had
movie,
you had a $10 million budget. Just buy a fake skeleton.
Yeah, seriously. Somebody that I did not enjoy, mostly because she did such a great job.
I don't know why you go ahead. I don't know why you don't like her.
She upsets me because she gives bad advice.
This is how I see her.
Okay.
Okay, who are we talking about so that people
Yeah.
know what we're talking
Miss
about?
Beatrice Straight.
She plays Doctor something. What is it?
Yes, she does.
What is it? Lesh.
Dr. Lesh.
So
So this,
she's like, okay, there's tiers to know what you're doing.
sure.
She on the bottom level where she knows just the basic shit, and she probably
Then why is she taking the reins of the situation and offering advice? If she's on the bottom, she
beginning-
has no business saying stay away from the light. She
Exactly.
has no business.
at the beginning she was taking the charge because she was the one who knew the most. So her saying things was because she had never been to something this extent. Without her, you would have never called what's her face to come in and save the day.
It's true.
And when she was doing it, she
That is
was,
true.
she was there like, listen to her.
She knows what
She
she's
said,
talking
I am
about.
so sorry. I'm leaving, but I'm coming back and I'm bringing fucking help because we're going to get your daughter back. That's why I liked her, because she realized she was in over her head
Uh-huh.
and she called in reinforcement.
I guess. But
What do you think?
Bad
she
decision.
didn't.
Just bad decisions.
I don't see her admitting that she was wrong. I don't see her really apologizing for anything.
That's what she says, though, when she leaves.
Did she?
Yeah, she leaves. And she's like, look, I'm leaving and I'm going to leave Ray or whatever here. Marty's ass
He's not gonna.
He ain't coming back. He peeled
No.
his face off and he's pissed, and so he's not coming back. And
Not
I'm
right.
leaving, but I'm coming back. I'm getting help because I'm sorry, but I can't help you. I got to get somebody. That's what she says, and she leaves when she comes back.
Okay.
But I understand. She did a good job. I liked her.
She. Yes, she did. She is an Oscar winner.
For
Network.
I love
Yeah.
it.
Best Supporting Actress. 1976. She played Louise Schumacher.
okay,
Mm-hmm.
I knew a Louis Schumacher.
Louis.
Mm-hmm.
Louis. Sorry, I'm a little
Lou
buzzed.
and Lou and Lou and Lou. Okay.
Wait, that's not the same song that's singing Fresh Prince today. No,
No.
that's different.
I don't think I've
ones,
ever heard of
small
that.
Ones, short ones, brown ones,
Oh,
crazy ones, spill a wine.
dig that girl. You know that's my jam.
Yeah, I do.
On a nice Sunday where it's beautiful, you
Dig that
driving along,
girl.
you play Spill the Wine, and you will feel great. Spill the wine, dig that girl.
Uncle Phil doing this shit.
Rest in peace, Uncle Phil. For real.
Uncle
James
Phil.
Avery.
Okay.
So, that's my only argument. She did a great job, and I hated her, but I'm supposed to.
Yeah,
You know,
When anyone does anything, when
she
you
reminds me of Dr. Pindishlas from Adam's Family.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Well, she was
Good
like an evil
evening.
person, though.
I fucking love that character though.
I know.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh my god.
That's one of my favorite episodes.
So, Beatrice was born in 1914.
Come again?
1914.
Like she'd be over 100 if she was still alive.
She'd be over 100. She'd be 105 by now.
Wow.
She was born
1900.
in Westbury, New York.
West Philadelphia, born and raised.
She did pass away in 2001 at the age of 86.
Good life.
Yeah, 86 years old. And she, loved the theater. And so she always kind of wanted to be an actress. She had her Broadway debut at the age of 21 in 1935. And she, lived an actor's life. 63 movies.
Wow.
Dang, nice.
Mm-hmm. So big ups to Beatrice Straight for doing that.
Way to go, Beatrice.
Mm-hmm.
Can I give you a fun fact I don't think you knew? I don't think you know this one.
Okay.
All right.
Lay it off me.
So originally this movie was given an R rating.
Okay.
Okay. And they were upset that it got this R rating, that they protested it and got it changed to PG.
13?
No.
PG.
The fuck?
So the only reason why it was changed to PG is because PG-13 didn't exist.
Didn't exist.
Ah.
So PG-13 didn't exist until 1984, so 2 years after this.
Gotcha.
Do you want to guess what the first PG-13 movie is? I know you've seen it.
1984. Let's go with...
We've talked about it on this show.
Have we covered it on this show?
We have not covered it on the show.
We just talk about it.
We actually talked about it last week.
The Breakfast Club?
No.
Eddie Murphy Delirious.
No.
I'm
Was that last week? No.
I
We
don't
did
know.
Cabin in the Woods last week.
just throwing junk out there.
You want me to tell you?
Throw me.
Yeah.
Tell me.
Red Dawn
Really?
was the very, very
Whoa.
Wolverines!
first PG-13 movie ever. And the
Okay.
reason why PG-13 was created in the first place is because parents were outraged that Temple of Doom was given a PG rating.
Interesting.
And so they had to come up with another step. And that's where we get the 13.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So yeah, this could have been an R-rated movie. Instead, it's a PG-rated movie.
It should have been a PG-13. So
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
PG-13, definitely. They don't cuss.
They don't
There
cuss
is-
and there's not a lot of blood.
there's
It's
not a lot of blood.
And there's
They
no sex
do-
scene.
Do drugs. That's it.
It's just like smoking weed, though.
Yeah, but that still changes
But in
the rating.
1982,
Yeah.
that's a big deal.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah.
Oof. Where to begin with this next actress?
I would like you to give me everything because I have nothing on her and I would like to know so much.
Have you ever seen Teen Witch?
Duh.
Ah.
Duh. Atop that. We already talked about that. I don't
Yes.
give a... Wait, what atop that?
So, Miss Zelda Rubinstein.
One, love the name Zelda.
Yeah, Zelda's such a strong name.
Tangina is who she plays. And I love her. I've always loved her. She's a Southern girl. She is in all three Poltergeists, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
She's the one who we had that great monologue.
Her first line in the movie
Mm-hmm.
is probably the best line ever. She's like, hang back, you guys are gumming up the frequencies, because they're all like trying to show her around. She's like, move. I
Yeah.
love it. With her little body.
And all 4 feet 3 inches of her.
3
Wow.
inches. I wonder if the role was
4 feet.
written for a body type like that, or they were just like, we want some creepy lady, and she came in and they were like, that's it.
Yep.
I love it when she's like, come down here, you gonna give me whiplash, and she has to like look up at the mom.
She's so cute. She is so
Yeah.
cute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So at age 45, she gave up the comfort of a stable paycheck.
It's never too late, y'all.
Never too late. But she attempted an acting career and she succeeded, and she went against the odds, and she did this movie actually was what like kind of boosted her into an A-list type actress.
When you're looking for that certain type of person.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I love her.
Yeah.
She's got a great southern accent to her. She's done some incredible movies, like we said, with Teen Witch and this one. She's also in 16 Candles. She's the one that's playing the organ, what is it called?
And when she
organ?
walks away, it like clinks clink in her purse. She's like, she's so cute.
She was born in 1933. She has passed away. She passed away in 2010.
Damn.
But even though like she's done a bunch of movies, like she has 56 credits to her name, and a lot of those are scary movies.
She has that like.
She's got that way about her,
Yeah.
that supernatural feel to her. And I love that she in Teen Witch, she's like the young witch's like mentor. you might
Yeah.
say.
Her drag
No.
mom.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
No. I mean, yes, but that's for drag queens.
Oh, I see.
Different.
Okay, wait. So you said that you had watched part 2 recently, right?
Yes.
So does the family move
Yes.
and it follows them?
They relocate and it follows them.
Because it wants them kids or what?
Yeah.
Well,
It wants the.
it is said in real life that children, especially preteens, feel the spirits and hauntings more than like adults do.
Well, they're more receptive to
They're
it.
more receptive, and they're the ones that are going to be possessed easier.
I see.
So, something to think about.
Mm-hmm.
So they move to a different place. The closet starts eating them again.
Yeah.
And the daughter gets pulled back in there, and she'd be like, "Mom, what the fuck?"
There's
is
no
going on?"
TVs allowed. The whole like
The whole house.
the father's band, and everyone's like, "Come on, can't we?"
Well,
Like,
that's awesome because at
know.
the end of the movie, he pulls that fucking movie out of
Yeah,
that
right.
TV out of
Out of
the
the-
hotel room.
Yeah,
No.
he does.
He's like, we cannot sleep with this shit in here.
exactly. He puts his foot down. He's like, "No TVs."
Read a book.
We're
Right?
I do love the TV war he has with the neighbor who has the same exact remote.
Oh, yeah.
Remind me of Grumpy Old Men, where he was like kept fucking with his TV, and they kept changing it to Mr. Rogers. He's like,
my kids want to watch Mr. Rogers. We got the football game going on.
and the guy's like, "Who the hell's this guy?" Like he's all pissed that Mr. Rogers shows up.
Which, those kids are little assholes in the first place. They
Yeah.
straight up tripped this guy while he's riding a bike and carrying
Holding all
like
this beer.
12 six-packs. Like
One,
like
this
a potato
dick-
chip case of 12 packs.
yeah.
My question is, what is a grown ass man
Doing on a bike?
doing on a bike, doing a beer run? What grown ass man? Nobody in the house had a car.
Maybe
you
they
said,
had already...
You said Roger, the dude has the fucking bike because you don't want to fucking.
They were all drinking already.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe he had a little too much.
It's the 80s. People drink and drive all the
I
time.
know, right?
Yeah.
Open
was like a
container.
thing,
They
yeah.
just threw it in a paper bag.
He wasn't that conscious to be like, you still can get a DUI for being on a bike. What's the difference?
Shit, I don't know. Maybe Steven didn't know that.
I don't know. This dude walks through the house with spraying beer. I
We're
would have
saying
kicked his
this
ass.
as if Steven was the director and maybe
He
Toby
was.
didn't know that.
Maybe.
I'm just saying he knew. It's Steven Spielberg. He doesn't do anything where he doesn't know everything.
Yeah, you're kind of right. You're not wrong.
I know I'm not.
I mean, so much research. Am I allowed to go to the bathroom?
Sure.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Is that frowned upon?
Just be safe in there.
Thank you. I'll be right back.
Wash your hands.
Never. I'll be right back.
Well,
But we're going to keep going, though.
Yeah, no. Keep going.
Zelda Rubinstein, like I said, she passed away in 2010.
Does she die any creepy way? Is she part of the curse?
No, she's just old.
That's a curse, man.
the curse of getting old. Well, strangely, she had a movie that came out in 2014. It took them a long time to make that movie, I guess. Like
Maybe it was
3 or
shelved
4
like
years.
Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah, possibly. Before that, she was on Scariest Places on Earth from 2000 to 2006. So I think she was the voice, the narrator.
What is that?
scariest places on Earth, apparently.
Looking it up because I like that.
Yeah.
Sounds creepy.
Mm-hmm.
But she did a great job.
Yes, Zelda, you will be missed.
You make this movie.
Mm-hmm. Jo Beth Williams is up next.
Okay.
Jo Beth Williams plays the mom.
Mm.
I liked her. I thought she did a good job.
She was hot.
She was hot.
She was cute in her little booty shorts and stuff. And she was a fun mom.
Yeah.
Like, I love where she looks at the bird and when it dies, she's like, damn it, sweetie, you couldn't wait for a school day? Like, she's all upset.
That sucks.
Who flushes a bird down the toilet? Is that a thing?
My thing is, she held that bird up there for way too long. She's just dangling above the toilet. Drop it in. Yo.
Don't drop it in. You're going to have to call a plumber. It's not a turd. It's not going to be able to go through there, like, smoothly.
That's true. It would not.
I had birds, and we never flushed them. They're not fish. We buried them in the fucking front yard. I wonder if they're still there.
Oh my God.
Pet cemetery up in my house.
Dude. So, she started out like a lot of actresses in TV, and she worked her ass off, and she did TV show after TV show after TV show. It wasn't until she did Poltergeist that she started to receive recognition.
You know what I love her in?
What's that?
Dutch. She plays the mom, like his girlfriend.
Oh.
Dutch, you ever seen Dutch?
You ever seen Ed O'Neill?
Yeah.
And it's a good ass movie.
He's dating her, like, he's dating
He's dating
her.
this woman, and
She has this, like, asshole prep
Preppy
school son.
son.
And it's Thanksgiving or Christmas,
Yeah.
and he
so picture
volunteers.
Al Bundy
Yeah.
being the new boyfriend.
Oh God.
And so he volunteers to go pick him up from boarding school because the dad can't come.
Mm-hmm.
And they have like this horrible adventure on the way back.
Oh my God.
And
Yeah.
the kid's just like a stupid little shit. And he like finally like doesn't even like care anymore. And he just does things too. Like,
Okay.
it is really fucking hilarious. It is a Christmas. Yeah, it's a good Christmas movie.
It's a good-
Okay.
Yeah. Is it Christmas or
I
Thanksgiving?
I'm pretty sure it's Christmas.
You might be right.
I'm pretty sure it's Christmas. He was trying to get her home for Christmas.
I'll tag it onto my Christmas movie list
Yeah.
then.
Nothing
It's,
burps better than bacon.
Nothing
gross.
burps better than bacon.
Oh my God.
That's his line.
I believe it.
Your water looked tasty.
You know, he's like,
Oh dear Lord.
So it's
No.
like it's planes, trains, and automobiles meets Al Bundy.
Al Bundy,
Al Bundy.
and a little kid.
Yeah, meets fucking problem child meets Richie Rich.
Gosh.
Dutch, look it up. It's a good one.
Look it
Dutch,
up.
really good movie. So not the movie we're talking about right now though, but Jo Beth Williams.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to doing that movie, she started in TV, and like I said, once she did Poltergeist, that's when people really started to notice her. And she was getting bigger roles, like she was playing Dustin Hoffman's quote unquote visitor in Kramer versus Kramer. So she does a little nudity in that one.
Okay.
And she has done all 3 Poltergeists. And even though she does movies here and there, she found her niche in TV. And so she went on a long ass run of TV shows, from Heart of Dixie to Perception to Marry Me. She did recurring roles on all of them. And she does a lot of guest star roles right now. Like she just did a spot on Station 19 with Jaina
it's the new
Lee
Shonda.
Ortiz. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so she's doing fantastic.
That's good for her.
Yeah, and in this movie, I thought she did a really good job.
Well, she is like the hero because she has to. It's all on the mama,
Yeah, yeah.
and she delivers. Like, you feel for her.
She's got to go through there.
Yeah.
I just want to say, like, they look so exhausted once they like show them after not sleeping for a couple days.
Yeah.
Like, they could have used a fat ass joint to go to sleep because they needed it.
They needed to sleep. But imagine if they did go to sleep. You know?
I would have been like the daughter. As soon as it popped off, I would be like, I am staying at Helen's house. I
Yeah.
don't know what you guys want to.
I would've
You
gotten
call
down
me
there.
when this shit is done. When it's done, I'll come back and get my stuff because we leaving.
Yeah, we're not staying.
We should. Everyone should just relocate it. I mean, that's just like.
You said they did, and it followed them, so they fucked.
I know it's.
So were
This
they
is
built
true.
on top of another graveyard? Like everywhere they go, there's bodies underneath them?
No.
Okay.
No, it literally is like the spirit just travels. They have it out for him.
Yeah.
It's like paranormal activity, huh?
Kind of, actually. You're starting to notice a little similarities with that one as well.
Okay. All right. I like
Gotcha.
those. I love those. Those are pretty good.
They are really good.
I see.
They're actually really good hair.
Yeah.
horror
I think the
films.
first one is not that great, but the ones after them are.
I don't know. The first one was really
The
good.
first one was good. The one, is it number 4, where she has like the girl.
Is that the dark ones or whatever it is?
Where it's like a whole cult or something.
Yeah, it's like found footage, but it's done. It's usually done pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
For a found footage one, it's just like security cameras in people's house.
Yeah.
I see.
Anyway, I
Wow.
like the one where they go back to the 80s. Though.
Ooh,
That one was a good
yes,
one.
that one's so good.
Okay, so Joe Beth, she not necessarily was a part of the curse, but she did have some spooky shit happen to her.
Oh yeah.
She said that every day when she would leave to film this movie, the picture by her door would be askew. She'd fix it, go to work, come home, the picture's askew again. Now she would be like, to make her feel good, she would be like, maybe I just slammed the door too hard and I just keep skewing the...
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
But if we
Logic.
believe in this motherfucking curse,
I mean,
something's coming for her.
honestly, there's only so many times you can like move it, and then you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 3.
Mm-hmm.
2's a coincidence, 3's a pattern.
Exactly.
Like, oh, hell no, I'm out.
Yeah.
Too bad we can't stay, baby.
This is a nice... Get out. We can't stay. Can I give you... Do you have anything else on her?
I like The Big Chill.
All right.
It's a good movie.
That was a good one. I got a fun fact I bet you didn't
I
know.
probably didn't. If it's about this movie.
Did you know that Steven Spielberg makes a guest appearance in this movie?
I did not.
I didn't even know that. Where?
You might recognize him in the bathroom scene. His hands are the one that are peeling the face.
Oof.
Ew.
That's Steven's beautiful hands.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you looking at me like that?
It's just
Fucks
like
you up a little bit.
it kind of like throws it off a little bit.
You like that though? Now when you look at it, you'll know it's him.
I honestly love it when the director or producer of a movie wants to like get into it, like really get hands on, like
Yeah.
wants to be so much a part of it. Like I dig that.
I do love an Alfred Hitchcock
Agreed.
that shows up somewhere.
Exactly, me too.
So,
Sure.
I
Or
totally get
Stanley
that. Stanley
Kubrick?
R.I.P.
Kubrick,
I thought that's who you were talking about.
Stan Lee.
Stanley.
Oh, Stan Lee. Okay.
Yeah. Stanley always makes it.
So I know
Yes,
that
he
he's
does.
not going to be in the movies anymore, but can we do like a fake him or like?
No, I don't want to fake Stanley.
I'd rather have a fake Stan Lee than not have anything that has him in it.
I think you gotta leave him alone.
No,
I mean, I know that they have back footage of him.
you can't just splice him in somewhere.
They might do that.
They
Put his
might.
pictures
It's the
on
same
shit.
way they're doing Princess Leia and Carrie Fisher.
That's what I'm
R.I.P.
saying. I want to see that too. Like,
It's possible. I mean, the way CGI is working
I
now.
don't know.
I don't know.
All right.
I respect that.
I don't respect that. I miss Stan.
I miss him too. I wouldn't want to cheapen his legacy by putting something else in there.
I think I would agree as well.
I think he would not agree. But that's
Stanley was
just.
incredible. So, Craig T. Nelson. This was the movie that put him on a map as well.
I'm sorry, I don't know who that is.
Coach.
Oh.
Before he was Coach, he was Craig T. Nelson.
Before.
See,
Oh,
Coach,
this is before he's
Coach
Coach.
came out in 1989.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I was
This
right. I
movie's
said it earlier. I was like,
1982.
he's like 90.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Still
So
look like a
this
stud.
was his big breakout role. To
He
a
might not
degree.
have hair no more, but he looks exactly the same.
He really does.
He does.
He had done a fair amount of work before this, and he was doing a lot of stand-up comedy. But this was really
Yeah, he's
his
hilarious.
opportunity to stretch his acting legs and show people what he can do. And on or off the train, whatever he was, I think he turned in a fairly solid performance.
Yeah. He's supposed to be like
You know.
scattered and distressed anyway.
Yeah,
So that,
especially the way that this was shot
yeah.
and the things that he had to do. He has to rationalize these things in his mind. Like when they're basically eating the house in the end, and he's like getting the car and this, that, and the other, and he goes back to Mr. Teague and he's has to say that line.
Yeah. That's another thing that I thought
It kind of like throws me off. It's like, you're stopping to do this. Save the people in the house.
That's what I'm saying.
Get them out of the house.
He literally stands at
Deal
the front
with
of the
that
house,
dumbass later.
and he looks at the house. All the lights are flashing, and he knows, you already know shit's popping off. It's not like, what could be happening? No, you already know the house is trying to kill them.
I almost feel like this is why Toby and Steve had creative differences.
Because he just stands there and he's like,
It's those little
what's her
things
name?
that change the
Donna?
movie.
Donna?
Yeah.
And he like screams the wife's name, and then he sees the boss and he yells at the boss. And then when he tries to save them, then a casket comes up and like blocks his way. You could have fucking ran. You should have ran to the door. The casket could have came up. Then you would have ran around the side to like try to get in the house and run to the boss and then yell at him like, "What the fuck, bitch? This is all your fault." Which it is. Totally is his fault.
Yeah.
Always gonna be Coach.
Coach. We already talked about him last December.
Yes, we did.
In The Family Stone.
Yes, we did.
He's timeless. He was in Grace and Frankie.
Mm-hmm.
Loved him.
He's also Zeke Braverman. We talked about that as well in Parenthood.
Braven.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
He's the patriarch.
I
of
love that
family.
movie.
This is
Oh, no,
TV
the show.
I'm talking-
Sorry,
However,
sorry,
I
yes.
do love that movie.
Sorry, I love that movie.
Another Spielberg movie.
Yeah. I thought that's what you were referencing. And then I was like, thinking in my head, I'm like, he's probably was in that movie. And then I was like, no. And I've
Spielberg.
never seen that show.
Spielberg, we've talked about him. This is our fourth time.
He's an incredible
Yeah.
filmmaker.
Yeah.
We did The Color Purple. We
did
did
The Color Purple. We did
Jaws,
Jurassic Park.
and we did Jurassic
Jaws.
Park.
I listened to the Jaws and Jurassic Park forever.
Yeah. Bum, 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 bum,
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Did you ever get that picture I sent you?
Yes.
Dude.
He was at the fucking prop house.
I was at the Universal Prop House, and they have a encased scenario where it has the hard hats, and it had.
I'm gonna have
She's
to show
pulling
you.
it up.
I'm
Oh
gonna
my
show you.
god.
It has
No
like
way.
specific props from the movie, encased in glass, and it shows like this is from Jurassic Park 1, and they don't do that for every movie.
No, I'm sure not.
It's very rare that they do stuff like that. But I mean, they also have Steven Spielberg Drive, so there's that.
Who doesn't want to have
And
anything
Steven
like-
Spielberg Drive leads you to the lake where Jaws is just hanging out. So
I do.
Sorry, go ahead.
I do want to say that. Speaking of someone has stuff named after him, Tyler Perry just opened up his studio in Atlanta this week, and every soundstage. This studio is so big that you could put Disney and like Fox and MGM studios in this studio, and there's still like 60 acres worth of like fucking shit. It's like massive, and he named a bunch of sound stages after prominent black actors like Spike Lee, Cicely Tyson,
Love it.
Will Smith, and Will was there. And all this
Ashley's
stuff.
working with Cicely.
I
right
know,
now.
I know. Well, she got a fucking set named after her.
Love it. That's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, Coach. We'll definitely have some more movies with that full in it.
Mm-hmm.
But he did a great job as being the cool dad. Try to save his family, man.
Yeah. At the end of the day, man's trying to save his family. And that being said, I'm out.
You out?
Bye.
Felicia, it is time. Okay, so I'm gonna hit you with these fun facts quickly. You ready?
No.
So the real house is Simi Valley, California, and it's still there.
I said I wasn't ready.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm ready.
So the real house is in Simi Valley, California. So if you live out in the valley, go look for it. It's there.
Okay.
I'm not looking for it.
You don't want to go to the house?
No, I don't.
I'm not
How do
going.
you make it taste so good?
I just want to pour all the Kahlua in there and just like,
That good vanilla from Mexico.
you know, that French vanilla.
So good.
So,
So good.
in the scene where Carol Ann is staring at the TV and it's all snow,
Yes.
you notice the clock that's on the top. It shows a certain time,
What time does it show?
2:37.
Oof.
You know what those numbers are? It's the numbers from The Shining.
Mm-hmm.
And people
Oh
also
my
like
God.
Flight 237.
people like to point out that the Torrance's car was a yellow bug,
Mm-hmm.
and at the very end scene where everything is being destroyed and they're driving off, you could see a yellow bug sitting there, and it gets flipped over.
Mm.
So I don't know if that's a nod to The Shining or not, but it's a cool little Easter egg for people who are looking for
I
it.
mean, another story of possession.
And they talked about how 237 in both situations shows a child in danger. That's what it hints to.
I never
see.
put those two together. That's really cool.
Bam, bam, bam. So the last in the Get Out, they did the same thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, you know, scary movies like to throw those numbers in there. So the big skull that pops out of the closet at the end, it wasn't necessarily supposed to be a skull. It was supposed to be like an old man head. It was supposed to be like whatever was possessing the house was this creepy, creepy old man head. And then, yeah. But it didn't end up coming to be, which is totally fine. So we don't have to fucking deal with that. Because I don't want to see an old man head. That kind of sounds spooky.
Yeah. No.
Scary-er.
Scarier. So lastly, you guys, let's talk about that wall scene where she gets pulled
Oh,
through the
yeah,
wall.
that trick photography.
So the trick photography is that the set is built on a rotating box, and she's just basically rolling on the bottom end of the box. But the camera stays in the same position, so it looks like the bitch is rolling on the ceiling, when really the ceiling is on the bottom like the floor. So in that scene, what they were supposed to have was black tentacles pulling her and dragging her across like the ceiling in the room and everything. But when they looked at it, it didn't look that good. So what they ended up doing was deleting it altogether because less is more. Kind of like Jaws. You see Jaws very little and he spooks the shit out of you. Not seeing something drag her around the room was way more scarier.
Yeah.
Biggest
To
villains
the
are the
obvious.
ones when you don't know what he looks like.
Exactly. And that is all I got on this Poltergeist movie.
And that is Poltergeist, and we out now. I'm
Almost.
so tired. I'm sorry.
I know you are.
I'm also kind of fading.
I know. We're done.
I'm
She's fading fast.
I'm on Eastern Standard Time and it's 5 a.m. I love it.
5 o'clock? Oh,
Yep.
Cheers.
I know.
Shit. It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
It's
Not
5
in my
o'clock
glass.
in New York.
You can drink.
Oh, got you.
Shit, bitch got me. All right. Well, you guys know what time it is. It's time for Z for the people. Yeah. That actually sounded good. You haven't sang with me in a minute on that
I
one.
haven't.
So,
Been working on it. Wanted to surprise you.
oh, thank you. He's
Learn
been
how to breathe
practicing.
better.
He's like singing from the diaphragm.
Haha.
So, in honor of Dominique, I picked this Z for the people, and it's the National Domestic Violence Hotline. So I feel like if Dominique would have had somebody watching her back, because thinking of her going on set with bruises and the makeup people are like, oh, we just want to put makeup on you because you're already bruised, but not sit and talk to her or try to get her help.
Yeah.
It's kind of fucking shitty. And maybe back then in the
Really fucking shitty.
yeah, in the early 80s, domestic violence isn't as serious as it is today. I mean, it was serious, but it wasn't taken as serious.
Yeah. People are more
And
alert to it now.
People are way more alert to it, and they see the signs, and now we act more than we used to. So
Showing up
this,
makeup ready is not the same as what she... Yeah.
no, yeah, I'd be like, I can't have you on set because you're just depressing as fuck, but I am going to put you up in a shelter or in a hotel until we can figure out what to do about you. So this charity or this hotline has been going on since 1996, and it has helped out so many people. Like even by the 2000, it had hit like 40 million helps that they've helped people. So if you ever want to call this people because you're in a relationship that is domestically violent and you can't get away. You don't know a shelter where to go to take you and your kids if you have any, or just to get counseling on to, help with the traumatic stress that you will be caused by the situation. They have a hotline. It's 24 hours a day. You can call anywhere in this country. If you're out of our country, they also work with international domestic violence places. So if they can't help you, they'll be able to send you somewhere that can't help you. So call 1-800-799-SAFE. It's 1-800-799-7233. And you can call anytime. You can call right now. You can call anytime. And you don't even have to call. They also do text messaging if it is too difficult for you to talk, or you don't want to get caught up. You can just text them and they can also give you the support that you need.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
that is exactly why I picked this. If you go to thehotline.org, you'll find out more information about donating and helping if you would like to help or if you need help. So that, my friends, is Z for the people. So
I do
we
like that. That's a good Z for the people.
Thank
Yeah,
you. I
that was
thought-
a really good
I thought
one.
it would be. I couldn't think of anything, and then that came to me, and I was like, "That's perfect."
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, we'll be back next week, you guys, and follow us. Oh, wait!
Cue the
Before we start-
music. We out.
But before we go, real quick, okay? You got to give me a real quick Hollywood Close Encounters.
Who you know?
Oh. Okay. Does it have to be here in Hollywood or?
No,
No,
could be
it
in
just
New
means
York.
that. Yeah, it just means that you met someone famous.
Well, this happened, a really funny story, really quick. San Francisco, actually. I had just left the Punchline and we were going to this pirate ship bar. And yeah, it's like literally
Tell me
like
more.
there is like wooden platforms like boats in this like open lagoon. I think it's called the
No
lagoon, isn't
shit.
it?
Yeah.
In Nob Hill.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so I was leaving behind a bunch of people. I was walking in, they were getting the table, and as I'm walking in, there is Colin Hanks
Nice. Love
Walking.
Colin Hanks.
walking towards me, and I'm like, oh shit, like it's Colin Hanks. I'm thinking, what do I say? And I was like, dude, it's you. And he's like, yeah, it's me.
Like, dude, it's
me.
you.
That's
That's
all
what I would have said back.
That's all I could have said to him, right? And so then he's walking away, and I'm like, this
I
is
love
it.
Orange County.
Well, what I go is, I loved you and Get Over It.
Nice.
You know that movie,
Yeah, I
Cisco?
do. I
Yes.
loved him in Get
Kristen
Over It.
Stewart,
Yeah,
Martin
great.
Short.
His most like cheesiest teen movie.
And he stops, turns around, he's like, really?
Nobody ever says that. Nobody.
Yeah.
So
that
wait.
shit was hilarious.
So then he goes his separate way, and I'm like, oh, can't believe I just said that of all the movies. Orange County, right? I could have said anything else. What the hell is wrong with me, right? A couple months go by, whatever. I'm back at the Punchline, and you know how when a comedian's on, they like try to sneak people in to like sit. And I knew all these guys, so they're just like, just sit at the bar, sit at the bar. I'm like, okay, great. So I slide in, and I'm sitting at the bar, and all of a sudden I turn to my right, and guess who the fuck's at the bar? Colin Hanks. And I'm like, oh my God, time to redeem myself.
Like, dude, it's you.
Oh my God. And so wait, the comedian's done, whatever. And I turn over like, hey Colin, it's you. And he's like, yeah, it's me.
Still
And I'm
me.
like- it's like,
Still me.
I don't know if you remember me. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. And I was like, I told you I loved you and Get Over It. And he's like, oh yeah. He's like, I fucking remember you.
You're the only person
I'm
in
only
history.
person in his
You're the
whole,
only person who's ever seen that
in
movie.
his whole
So if you
life.
run into him again, you can say
Nope.
it.
Third
and he'll-
time's a charm.
He'll fucking
I've seen the
remember you.
movie. It was good.
It's good.
I mean, it is, but
It's funny as
It's
shit.
I don't. I would
It's
not
got
say that's
everybody in
his
it.
movie.
I wish I
though.
could pluck. A pluck.
I want to see you pluck.
Pluck.
Keep icing your front bump.
I
need
I
you.
need you.
Not really.
It's a
So
solid
funny.
movie.
I love when he
So-
goes up to fucking. Oh, what is her name? Kirsten Dunst.
Mm.
And he's got this big ass cheesy smile, and he's just this. It's not very good. You're such an asshole.
So funny.
Oh my god! And so that's your
That's
Hollywood Close Encounter.
that's my Hollywood Close
That's a good one.
Encounter.
That's a good one.
encounter.
Yeah.
It was-
So
Colin fucking Hanks.
Colin Hanks, man.
it's you.
It's you.
It's still me. So if you guys have a Hollywood Close Encounter, please email us at lightscameracocktail no s
Get that ass out of here.
Yup, at gmail.com.
I'm tired. I'm not that tired.
I know, good.
I am that tired.
Please follow us on Spotify, iTunes, Castbox, Podbean, anything you get podcast. Ooh, I'm feeling this.
Yeah.
Anywhere you get podcasts, that's where we're at. Please like and subscribe us and tell a friend. I told my friend and now she's on the show.
Yep.
I tell my friends they're not good friends. They don't come to see me. No, they do.
I came from New York, so. Ooh.
Yeah, you're editing that.
Yeah.
Sorry, say the line one more time.
I'll save that guy for later.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So good. So, yeah. So that's us. Please follow us, like us. iTunes, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube.
Spotify.
All that shit.
All that shit. You guys know the shit. If you like us, look for us on some shit. So, we're about to get ready for next week's episode.
No, we're not.
Our
We're going to
scene.
sleep. I'm so tired. I can't do this right now.
Lights, camera, cocktails.
Okay,
All right.
fine. We're doing it.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me. I guess
You want me to
I gotta
slap
get
you
into
to wake
this
you up?
character.
She's really good at it.
Oh no,
That was,
no. I got
that was a bad slap. I top finger slapped him.
Top finger slap.
What's a top finger slap?
I didn't give you a palm. I just got to give you the fingers.
Phalanges.
Just don't mush me.
Wow.
I know, right?
That volume. Oof.
He has perfect hair. It's the worst
It's
thing.
beautiful.
Fuck that dude.
Holy shit! I just saw myself.
It's not as high as the house party one. He fucking like.
Oh, dude. Had that Aquanet look.
Yeah, the
Yes.
one time he made a fin for Jaws, right?
Yes,
That
he
was a
did.
good one.
That was a good one.
That's epic.
Y'all gotta check us out on YouTube. It's kind of funny.
It's kind of funny.
You have no idea what my hair looks like right now,
We didn't dress up this week, but you're dressed up right now with this hairdo.
bro.
I dressed up.
Yes,
she
you
did, yes. Thank you.
It glows in the dark.
Turn the lights off.
Turn the lights up.
Ooh,
Ooh.
I like it.
Okay.
I'm obsessed.
So
We have not really rehearsed this together. I mean,
No.
Lenny and I did a little
little
bit,
bit.
but everybody's tired, and we're gonna do what we can, and we're gonna knock it out. You do know that you're mouthing this part, right?
Yes.
Ventriloquist style.
So good.
All right. Then in that case, here we go.
You don't have to kill anyone.
Ah, possession. Good. Learn to throw your voice for your friends. Fun at parties.
No, we just want you to get some people out of our house.
I understand. Well, in order to do that, I'm really going to have to get to know you guys. You know, we're going to have to get real close. Move in with you for a little while. Get to be real pals. You know what I mean? Save that guy for later, huh?
My wife and I have a few questions.
Sure. You know, shoot.
Well, for instance, what are your qualifications?
Well, I attended Juilliard. I am a graduate of the Harvard Business School. I travel quite extensively. I lived through the Black Plague, and I had a pretty good time during that. I've seen The Exorcist about 167 times, and it keeps getting funnier every single time I see it. Not to mention the fact that you're talking to a dead guy here. Now, what do you think? You think I'm qualified?
You're just looking at me.
I just want to know if you could be scary.
Scary.
I really.
I didn't understand.
You're a little scared.
What do you think of this? You like it?
No, I don't.
Every time you say, and it keeps on getting funnier. Your face is
My
so
eyes?
good. It's so good.
Yeah, you're just trying to get those
I
eyebrows.
tried really hard not to laugh because every single time we practiced it, I was like, I'm gonna laugh again.
Well, that's good to know because I got to do a monologue in a couple weeks for some stuff, but
Ooh.
it's a scary monologue.
You?
Yeah,
Scary?
Yeah,
I know,
scary.
right?
What?
Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take a regular monologue and flip it and make it scary because that's what they teach us at Playhouse.
I like that.
Anything can become something else.
Cool.
True,
I
true.
like that.
It's all about the behavior. All right, you guys, that is our little jelly bean for next week. We hope you enjoy it. I'm
We
very
fucking
excited.
did it.
We didn't realize that there was 5 weeks in October, so we get an extra.
Yeah. We only planned for 4, and then
yeah.
this week I counted.
And this one's so exciting too.
Yeah,
This
I love
one's
this
so
movie.
good. This one's so good.
So good. I didn't even kind of ask you if we could do this one. I kind of just
You
threw
did
it
it.
on
It's like,
you.
boom.
I just texted him. I was like, we need another movie. There's 5 weeks in October.
I didn't say like, all right, how about these movies? I just like.
He said, let me
I
think
gave
on
it the
it.
scene.
Yeah.
He's like, let me think on it. And then I got the scene. I was like, I'm down.
Perfect.
All right, we're out. I'm
Yes.
gonna get some sleep. Very little, but we're gonna get some.
Let's get it.
Yeah.
And we will see you guys right here next week on Lights Camera
Cocktails. They're here.
Not fucking.
They're in your room, Jason.